Hi guys, I'm Heath Manning from Manning Cues, and today I'm standing in Diamond Billiards Factory. I've been here for a week, and they've given me free reign for 5 days to go through the entire factory from start to finish. From the mill department where the raw material comes in, to the CNC department where you see these monster machines cutting out these pool tables, top rails, and all the pieces that you'll find in your pool tables, into the sanding department where every item is hand inspected and sanded and quality control is superb, through the different steps of assembly to end up with a finished diamond pool table ready to be delivered. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the Pro-Am. Right now I've got 3 tables set up in here as a Pro-Am. Stage 1 comes out of stage 1 assembly. We've got the legs, we've got the box of the table, the ball return, and the pocket arms fully open for you to see. Stage 2 of the table, we've installed the cross member, which is the Slate support, as well as the leaves on top of that, which hold the leveling system, which has also been installed. And final stage, where we've got a complete table with slate, which is Brazilian slate, Simonis cloth, and your top rail system installed and leveled. So I'm going to take you through each of these stages and show you why the value of the #1 selling table is the Pro-Am. We already can appreciate the playability, but now we're going to see the quality and how it's done. Stage 1 of a diamond pool table exits exactly as shown here, with a fully assembled frame, ball return installed, 6 pocket arms installed, lined with foam, 4 legs, ready to go to stage 2. In stage 1, the 4 legs are put on, and they will match the stain of the table that you order. So when you order a Pro-Am, the legs and the caps are oak. The top rails are oak, unless you order the PRC or the Dynalux, and they will match the top rail, cap and leg. The ball return installed features a rubber lined top. So for the ramp going to the collector, as well as the ramp under the collector that leads to the ball return where you can access the balls, is all rubber lined. It's not just the bed of the ramp that's rubber lined. You've also got rubber lined along the side here. These lines are rubber. The rubber is there for 2 reasons. It's noise reduction and ball protection. Both are very important on a high quality table. These pieces in the middle are actually installed because what was happening back in the day where a player would shoot a hard shot and the ball in the side pocket would come down with such force on a stern shot that it would roll through here. If these pieces weren't here, it would roll right back up the other side and sometimes end up on the table. So those 2 pieces prevented that, allowing for direction right down to the collector and right to where you can access the balls very quickly. The ball return also features access holes here and at the end there, where if you have any chalk that's fallen down or an item that's fallen down in your table, you can easily access with a long object and pull those out. If they happen to fall into the collector, you can also access it from where the ball return is, at that end of the table. Also at the end of the table here is where you're going to put your triangle. Your triangle will go right in here, and it's carpet lined. So when you have that nice oak triangle placed in there, it's not going to get scratched. It's protected. You got your 6 pockets that lead down, and they actually rest right on the rubber, which also, so there's no big drop and loud noise there. These pockets are also rubber lined, where the ball will come down into the pocket to reduce noise and force on the ball, protecting it. As you can see here, we've got a foam lining on both sides of the ball return. You've got access doors here, here, and the same on the other side of the table. Those access doors are very important because if you need to get into your table to reach something that may be in an odd spot that you can't get out through one of the access doors, we can reach through the bottom of the table here removing this door and easily gain access to the middle of your table. The foam that's on each side here is actually originally used only to ship the legs of your table. When you order a one-piece Slate table and the table is flipped on its side, the legs are placed in the belly of the table in this section. They are separated by foam and lined with foam so that your legs are protected during shipment. So to show you how the system works here, I'll throw some balls in the pockets and you'll see them just come right down. Now, the noise right now is obviously louder than what it should be because the table is open. It doesn't have the cross member on, it doesn't have the leaves on, it doesn't have the Slate on, the bedcloth, the top rail. So the open table right now is going to be louder. The other thing that's really important about the Diamond Pro-Am tables is that each leg has its own individual level. So if you were to reach inside the inside of the leg, there is a rectangle hole, and you can go in there with a wrench and you can raise or lower the leg of your table with ease. So when you do order a table, if it does settle a little bit and you have one end that might be a little lower, it's a very easy adjustment for you. So that basically takes you through stage 1 of the table. Let's head over to stage 2. Stage 2 of the Diamond Pro-Am pool table is where the cross member is installed, which is the plywood base for the Slate. It's very thick and heavy. These pieces around the table are called your leaves. There's 6 on every table. Each one of them will hold 3 of these levels on a 9-foot table. There is 18 of these around the outside of the table and 4 in the middle. So on a 9-footer, you've got 22 shims that level your table. This is so important to the playability of your table, as your bed will stay level. The reason it will stay level, after your table settles and after you've had it leveled perfectly, it shouldn't come out of level. The reason being is that each one of these has a rod going through the shim. What that does is allows, once the Slate is installed, to turn this nut right here and bring this shim in. Just by turning the nut, it will come in all the way to the edge, or to when it rests up against the underside of the Slate. Once that's locked in, you've got really good support for your Slate. And once that's locked in and your Slate is leveled, the only way that shim can move is if you turn that nut, because it's threaded through the shim. So if you bump the table or something shakes the table, your table should remain level because none of your shims have moved. If your table becomes out of level, remember you've got 4 leveling access points in each of the legs, 1 in each, to allow you to fine tune if you find that one corner has dropped. So from start to finish in stage 2, we've got your cross members installed. We've got your leaves installed around the table, plus your 4 leaves in the middle of the table, and your 22 state-of-the-art leveling system installed, ready for Slate. The final step of stage 2 is to have the Slate installed on the table. The Slate is very heavy, it's Brazilian, it's 1 inch thick, and if installed correctly, should be perfectly square with the table. The way that they achieve the Slate being perfectly square is by lining up all of these holes with the leaves that are around the edge of the table that we saw just prior. The leaves are also holding the leveling system, which after the Slate is squared on top of the table, we can turn the little nut on the leveling system on that shim to bring that shim in so that it rests directly against the base of the Slate. You'll also see 3 holes on this end and 3 holes on this end that are for the Slate screws. Slate screws will allow the slate to be fastened down and not move. Gives the slate some stability so that it can't be shifted. These holes here are lined up as we discussed, and they are used for the bolts to come through the leaf material of the wood, through the 1-inch slate, and into the underside of the rail, all the way around the table. So once your slate is square, your slate screws are in, and all of your shims have been hand tightened for pressure around the outside of the table, we're ready to move on to stage 3. The 4 shims in the middle of the table will be tightened once the table is lifted and put on this platform so that we can reach under through the trap doors into the middle of the table and hand tighten those. The final assembly of a Diamond Pro-Am is where your cloth is installed. The cloth is 860 Simonis HR to your color choice. It's installed using glue, not staples. The rail assembly is then installed next, and it is fully assembled prior to being put on this table. 4 pieces. This long rail here is actually 1 piece. It is not 2 pieces here. So 1 long piece on each side, and then you've got your ends. So pre-assembled, it's come on, it's set on, and then it's squared perfectly with the playing surface to make sure that you get the optimum playability and that it's done right. Once it's been squared, the rail bolts are installed all around the edge of the table. There is 4 in each section. When they're fastened down, the table is inspected thoroughly. It's tested for playability. All the rails are tested. On a 9-foot table, Pro-Am, you're going to have the Artemis rail rubber, which is considered by most to be the best billiard rubber in the world. On a 7 and 8-foot table, you're going to have the Black Diamond rubber, which is only used on the smaller tables to reduce the speed of the table. If you were to put the Artemis rubber on a smaller table, the travel of your balls would be significantly more, and it wouldn't be realistic to the play on any other table. So for that reason, Black Diamond rubber is used. Playability, quality, workmanship, and just as a company, Diamond really has it done. They've really treated me well here, and they've given me free rein to inspect their tables. I was not supervised, and this is the real deal. It won't get any more genuine than this right from the factory. If you've got any questions on the videos, please give me a call. If you got questions on any of the models, size, options, give me a call. Also visit my website, manningqs.com, and I hope to hear from you in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks, guys.